You're good.
Do we need we're going to turn the lights down to maybe 25% or something?
It's usually 50%.
50%?
Yeah.
Let's get a little mood lighting going on.
All right.
Were these lights up here last time?
I don't remember. It's been a while.
No, I don't think they were. I don't think they were at all. All right, well,
I'm
waiting to get in the zone here with the lights. It's giving me that warm, fuzzy feeling. All right, well, look, it's God bless, it's the first week of September. It's September 2nd right now.
Labor Day yesterday.
Yes, it was.
We had a pretty fun. Oh, look at that! I did that immediately, and Chris started getting closer to me. It's I feel so much more comfortable.
I saw that.
Yeah, he's like, well, give me a little pull on the mic here.
Just a little pull?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, there you go.
All right, well, it's the first week of September. It's a Tuesday podcast, and we have a special guest. She's been here before, and she brought her husband this time, so I think she needed protection, right?
Maybe.
Could be.
We were,
you guys.
We were a little overbearing, maybe. I don't know.
Well,
this is the first couple guests we've ever had.
Oh, that's true.
Hey.
You guys are breaking new barriers for us.
Thank you
How
for
about that?
Yeah. Well,
All right,
cool.
well, check us out on Instagram. Check us out on Facebook. It's Dudes Like Us Podcast, or check us out for the Dudes Like Us Woodcraft if you want some of the swag we got to offer. RSS.com. We're on everything.
We're
you just got to
everywhere.
look us up. It's got to be Dudes Like Us and Podcast. And you got to be careful when you enter that in, because if you enter that in wrong, you could be
Can take you to other
you could
places.
be knee deep in something nefarious you don't want to be. Well, Dudes Like Us, I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
I am Jeff.
I'm Heather.
I'm Chris.
All right.
And it's the first half. This one's kind of different. We are introducing. Last time Heather was on here, we had a great time. It ended up in kind of I don't know if it was a train wreck. I was a train wreck, but it was a lot of fun. You brought what, 3 bottles and then a bottle of Vixen?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That
we
was
had
a lot
three,
to take
We had
in.
3 bottles on top of the Vixen.
And
Wow.
I think we
Yeah,
sampled
that's
And bourbon, yeah.
we sampled the Infinity bottle.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
But
Chris,
we also aren't used to having a lot of samples of wine, and our bodies weren't accustomed to that. So it kind of caught us off guard, I think.
it caught me off.
But it was
guard.
great.
That's why I brought Chris, so he could carry you home if we needed to.
There we go. Good. I hope you've been working out.
Yeah.
I have
He has
been, just
been,
for
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Just for
Okay.
that.
Good.
Throw me
Good.
over your shoulder. All right, well, Heather, bring us in with with your experience here. You were here last time. You brought the bottles. You did a lot of research and a lot of prep, and touched maybe 10% of what we really wanted to talk about. This time, what is your goal here today?
So really, honestly, we're going to talk a little bit about Napa and the wine styles of Napa and kind of like the fads that they're going through right now. And that's kind of just left it open. There's so many segues that we can take, or maybe a train or a bus, whatever.
Sure.
Well, I want to talk to you about one of the wines we had last time, Amici. My wife and a couple of other friends went to their class at Total Wine, and we were talking to, I can't remember the gentleman's name. He had an odd name, but he was giving the class, and he was one of the, I guess he's fairly high up, I don't know. But he said that if we wanted to do a tour, we'd have to, give him a call and stuff like that, because actually
Was it John Harris?
It
No.
was Psy.
Psy, yes. And he was awesome. He was great.
No, that
And-
says CEO, not Cy.
No.
So you said a tour of Amici?
Well, Amici, yeah, because I think you even mentioned that it's a private vineyard. And my son and his fiancée are getting married out there in Napa Valley next June. And
Jeez, time is flying.
it is flying.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to try to reach out to him, because he gave us a business card, to see if we can actually do that.
Yeah, and I can also hook you up with him, because I can let him know that y'all know me. They'll give you VIP service.
Outstanding.
Nice. And we're giving him a shout out right here.
Right, Psy
Right
from
here on
Amici.
the podcast. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And that was
Yep.
an excellent wine, by the way.
It was
Yeah.
really good. I've got a funny story about their wine. So we had our crawfish boil. I think I invited y'all, and y'all didn't come because y'all don't like me, but it's okay.
That's
Was that the one that was just happened
I don't
No,
know.
it wasn't your birthday. The day I went to the hospital.
I invited, yeah. And then you were like, I'm going to go to the hospital instead. I'm like, you do not know how to party. No, we had a crawfish boil. And I think, yeah, that's when one of my coworkers came over and I was like, hey, just go grab something out of the wine fridge. And I didn't give him parameters, which,
Oh, boy.
when you have a wine cellar like ours, you should probably throw some parameters on there. But he's in the business. I'm like, sure, he's another wine manager at a 3-lettered store that I work at, not a 4-letter store. And so he goes and he grabs a bottle, and it is a Cab Franc Tocalone Amici single vineyard and impossible to get.
Oh no.
And as he walks by, Chris is like, you better pour me a glass. And I didn't know that because I'm outside entertaining and having a great time. And he pours the glasses for everybody, then hands me the bottle. And I'm like, oh, fudge.
Yeah, the damage is already done.
It is already, you can't get the bottle again. I was
No.
like, sigh, can I get more? Yeah. So, and then my husband's like, I didn't get a glass. And I was like, fudge again.
So you two didn't get a glass. Everyone else did.
Did not get a glass.
got
Well, it goes
I got a
quick
glass.
when you're having a party, right? How many glasses
There were like
come?
8 people out there. So 8
Yeah,
people.
how many come?
Do they
how
have
many,
straws?
How many come out of a bottle?
Generally speaking, 5 to 6 glasses. So
Okay.
8 was a stretch, but my husband got 0 of the 8.
Ouch.
So yeah.
Well, I evenly dispersed 6 glasses from this bottle.
Yes.
You did a great job.
We met. Is it Kim at the Total Wine? Kim
Yeah.
had a bottle of Amici in front of her,
Mhm.
and we were kind of boasting a little bit. Oh, we had Heather Liner talking about Amici. Oh, and she was like, "Oh, I know Heather."
Me and Kim are
So,
really good friends.
Give her a shout
The
out.
people at Amici are amazing, and so I always try to promote them because they're just they're great people. So yeah.
They have great product too.
Yeah, I got some more certifications since the last time I talked to y'all.
Ooh,
So,
why don't you
Do
go through
share.
well, when we want to party hard, we spend about $6,000 and pay for a certification. Woohoo! So, I am now WSET level
Holy
2,
shnikes.
and I passed with distinction,
that?
which
Very
not
nice.
everybody does, and I had to.
Does some of
say
that
it.
get reimbursed or funded from your 3-letter store?
If I tried to get them to pay for it, yes, but they don't operate in the speed that I go at. So like I've already signed up for the 3.
So it might be on
So,
next year's budget.
I made an appointment to ask to be to get the money for the level 3. But the appointment hasn't happened yet, and I went ahead and signed up. But we'll see. Maybe the appointment will happen before I graduate from the level 3.
Well, it's exciting. So let's just talking about your career path.
Yep.
Your where you are. What happens if you decide to step it up? Is where you're at still a great place to be?
So there's lots of choices. So like I'm in school for enology and vinification, so fancy talk for making some wine. And we are making our first batch of wine next year. My husband has volunteered himself to help me make the wine. His name is not going on the bottle. He will be
Are you going to be the official grape stomper?
He will be my
That's
cellar rat. That's
Yeah.
what he'll be. That's what they call
He's
him.
going to be the cork soaker.
Well, that's cool though.
No, he's going to help me make it. But so I had talked, I think, about Morrisoli a little bit when I was on last. But Morrisoli is a vineyard person. He owns a vineyard. His family goes way back into Napa. They're like the best vineyard in Rutherford for that Rutherford dust. And Chris Morrisoli, just salt of the earth. He's a volunteer fireman, and he's also a fighter jet pilot.
Helicopter pilot.
Helicopter, they look the same.
Yeah.
Chris, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. I can't tell the difference between large vehicles. And so he does that. And apparently he's Napa Valley's most eligible bachelor, ladies.
Oh.
Ooh. I'm married, so I'm good. But no, he's a great guy, and he's going to let me buy his grapes. So next year
Okay.
I'm going to fly to Paso and spend some time in Paso. Then I'm gonna fly over to Napa and then drive a refrigerated truck back full of grapes, because I told him I was gonna make a 5-gallon barrel of wine, and he said, "No, you're not. Go big or go home." He said, "You're making a full barrel." I was like, "Yes, sir." So, full barrel of wine coming in 2028.
How many pounds of grapes does that take?
I don't know.
Apparently, a whole truckload.
Is
Yeah.
it more than a
It's-
bushel?
It's definitely more than a bushel. There's gonna be these giant grape buckets, because like he's like, "Yeah, you're gonna get my grapes," and this is. I was like, "Oh, we're
Is
gonna
it
need
enough to
those
fit in a garage?
It's gonna be, so chances are, I think, I don't know how many So when you're doing this so I helped out with Amici. I did this in like a larger format. Like they weren't making a barrel, right? They were making mini. So I don't know how many of the grapes were winning like per barrel.
Mr. Producer just put
Oh,
up
here
there
we go.
1,000 pounds of grapes to make one
Holy
barrel of wine.
Nike.
60-gallon
So
one.
yeah, so you're prepped for this. Where are these grapes going, and how do you store them, and how long will they
How do you
keep?
press them?
So,
How long will they keep?
I've got two different wineries that I can try to work something out with. So to be determined, but I'm going to contact y'all's friends who makes bourbon, but also, do you remember their son makes wine?
Correct.
So I'm going to see if maybe they'll rent their
Is that the
facility.
1845 Lower
Correct,
Crossing?
1845. Yes.
Shout
right.
out to them.
Yay!
Yes.
Hi. So I'm going to talk to them. I can also talk to. There's a winery in Salina, Eden Hill. I'm going to talk to them as well. We're going to see who will negotiate a good price for me because I'm not going to sell the wine. It's going to be for practices.
Sure.
So you'll be essentially kind of, I don't know, is it kind of like the blendery, or is it more like rare character? Rare
No,
character,
she's
you're
making
buying
her own
something
stuff.
no, I mean,
So
She's
it's-
making her own stuff.
from start to finish.
from scratch. So you're like Rebecca Creek.
Sure.
No,
But someone else's
did
distillate.
MGP, yes. Well, no, she's going
Yeah.
to make her own. She's buying instead of so she's buying the grains and
But you're not growing the grapes, right?
I am not growing the grapes. I am buying the grapes. I do not have time to start a vineyard. So there's
Yeah.
that.
Well,
Or the-
put that
yeah,
on your
yeah.
list, Chris.
Oh, it is.
It's on our
the list.
it's on the list. Yeah. And as far as like where we'll take this, I don't know. I mean, I love my 3-letter grocery store and being the beer and wine manager there. And we definitely our store in DFW, we have we're in McKinney, and we have created probably we're growing as like one of the top high-end wine stores for them because of the clientele that I bring in with my knowledge. And that's not to like sound braggy. It's just like people like to talk to people that know stuff.
Yes.
And so, anyways, so we're doing pretty good. But I just don't know, like, other than being a wine buyer for that company, I don't know that, I don't want to be a regional manager where I'm helping other people. Like, I like working with the customer. I like
Right.
telling people about wine and helping them like learn about wine. So I just don't see myself growing in that way. So the only other way would be like wine buyer. And if that doesn't work out, it's cool. We'll just buy a vineyard like in Spain or
Oh.
Portugal.
Ooh, very nice. You know what's super exciting about?
Chris, do you need a piece of paper? And write
Yeah, you
these
got a lot
notes
to
down?
write down here.
We talk about it all the time. Trust me.
Okay, we can also send you the recording of the podcast. And
Yeah,
you'll-
it'll
and
be
you can
out there
help.
forever.
But the exciting thing about this opportunity with the grapes is it's a kind of I want to say it's no pressure, but it's a low pressure situation. Like you said, you're not on the hook for making any money on this. There's nobody expecting you to make money on this that they get a cut of, right? This is
That might actually be better, but no, nobody's
but you
going to.
see what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's kind of like a low pressure hobby type, but taking it seriously, of course.
Right, yeah.
But again, you've been gifted the grapes.
I am buying the grapes.
You're buying. Okay, all right.
Buying
So
the grapes.
there is a little bit of pressure.
There's and I've got to purchase the truck. Well, rent the truck that's refrigerated, and the bins that the grapes go in. That one's going to be challenging because I have to rent them. But how do I get them back to them after I've driven them across the country?
So you've got some
Chris.
logistics.
Yeah,
Chris
there's
will drive them back.
we've got some logistic work to do. I've got to get a winery that'll agree to letting me do this. And then there's a lot of work that goes in daily with your wine, and it's not a lot of like just sitting in a tank like people think. So I'm going to have to also see if I can work out a rotating schedule to where I'm not there every day. And if I am, then it's definitely I'm going to Salina, Eden Hill, please help.
So what is the mature? What's the maturation timeline to get this? Not just the timeline to get it, but from when they're putting
Start
the
to
barrels.
finish, yeah.
I mean, what are we looking at? 5 years? 10 years?
No, so we're going to go next year for next harvest and buy the grapes next harvest. So that's next year. And then it will be ready to drink by 2028.
That's pretty
So
quick.
it's a
Yeah.
two-year life
Turnaround,
cycle.
Right. Yeah. 2 year. I think 2 years from, in the barrel, and then we'll go through the bottling process. So, 2.5 years. That's
And
not too
there's
bad.
no way to monetize that. There's no way to sell this,
You have to have a
Um,
license to sell
or
it, though,
have
right?
the winery sell it on your behalf, or something like that.
Probably, but I mean, honestly, that would be probably more work than it's worth. And also, I'm using Napa grapes and I'm making it in Texas. And I refuse to call it a Texas wine. There's a lot of wineries out there in Texas that do that and they use other
Yep.
people's grapes. And I'm
Right.
like, that's not Texas wine. I'm making a California wine. It just happens to be made in Texas. So, but I can't put California on it. So I think I'm just gonna like do a bottle party and maybe some hopes and dreams and prayers. I don't know what we'll see.
And call it Texafornia.
So you can have some wines that, people are like, wow, this is how old can a wine get? 20, 30, 50, 100 years?
Well, we just drank a wine when we were in Germany that was a 1979 Gewürztraminer. So you can, the oldest bottle of wine, I want to say, is from, I think it's from 1700. If I remember correctly.
They can last a long time.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to drink that bottle.
I was going to say, do they know it's still good?
I
like
know
it won't kill you or it won't taste good.
It tastes like vinegar, maybe.
I think it depends. I mean, that bottle's in Europe, so it's been kept in like a cold cellar and like a cellars there like damp and dark and cool. And but I really feel like most wines they're ready to drink in 5 to 50 years. To sum it up.
That's interesting. So what is about yours? Is that?
Mine's going to be drunk immediately because we're just going to invite a bunch of friends over and
that'll be so
it'll
fun.
be just a party.
That'll be so fun.
Yeah, y'all decline because you'll be doing something else that's more fun.
No, look,
like the hospital.
we talked about this when this was going on. When you invited us, and there's stuff going on all the time.
Oh yeah.
But we want to encourage you to continue to invite us because we do want to show up.
Oh no,
and we'd love to get with you guys and have fun because we're wild and crazy kind of guys. No, we like to get out there and do stuff. We're fun, and we like to have fun with each other. And it's just sometimes the timing doesn't work out, or some of us have to go to the hospital or something stupid like that.
Right.
And I'm highly allergic to crawfish. So,
Yeah.
Are you really?
No.
Oh, I was going to say it's always a
I don't like them,
potluck.
though.
Yeah, it's a potluck
Have you
because
tried
I
them?
won't eat them.
He knows I haven't tried them. He knows.
They're
you asked that question because you know I haven't tried them.
Nasty.
I'll eat them,
Nasty.
but they're a challenge because
I like 'em.
you got to eat like 1,000 of them.
That's a community event. You stand around a table and you sit there and you suck on
I
them.
need to stop being a
You lost me at
5-year-old.
suck on them.
Please do another one, and I promise I'll be there. I won't be a 5-year-old.
Yeah. We'll probably have other parties that are more fun than that. But no, it's a potluck. So there's a lot of really good food. And my
Nice.
world infamous 7-layer dip that nobody knows about except for my family and friends is going to be there. And it's fantastic.
7-layer dip
go.
sounds great.
And Chris, what do you bring to the table?
I'm the one that makes the crawfish.
Oh, there you go.
I'm the Cajun, so
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. What's your background?
I was actually
Cajun?
we born and raised just outside of New Orleans.
Okay.
Most of my family still lives down there, minus my parents and my siblings. We live up here in Dallas.
So do you have a real thick Cajun accent before you moved up here?
I did not actually. A lot of people when we first moved up here thought I was from the Bronx. So
Really?
yeah, I guess because I had a bad lisp, and so there was a combination of a little bit of Cajun in that, and people were like, "Are y'all from the Bronx?" And my mom's like, "No, we're from Louisiana."
Yeah, it couldn't be further from like what it actually is, right?
Right. Yeah,
Crazy.
So is that what a bad lisp? So is that?
It's like,
I
yes, in the
don't think
Bronx.
that's the reason.
I'm just telling you that's what it was. Like it took me a long time to get my language right, and then was only here 4 years. Joined the Army, was stationed in Seattle 4 years. So then I don't know, something happened where there's just if you talk to my dad, you'll hear
It's just his
You'll
dad.
hear the
It's not
accent.
his mom. His dad has it. And when we went to Baton Rouge to drive to rescue my cat, I've told y'all about her, my $25,000 rescue cat. And we drove. She's now on my debit card. I love her so much. Anyways, when we
She's
drove,
still alive?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I hope
with,
so.
That's
with
my
8
ROI.
minus her 8 teats and 8 mammary glands. They've all been removed.
She's going to the cryo after
You're gonna
that.
have this damn cat bronzed.
No, she's never dying. Okay, so anyways, we drive there and I get back and I tell his dad, I'm like, everybody in Baton Rouge sounds just like you. And he's like, what, educated? And I was like, sure. That's what I was going to say. It's
I was
also...
gonna say, does it sound like the coach from Adam Sandler's Waterboy?
It's
Yeah,
hard to
yes.
describe. It's not quite that bad. But there's a draw to it, but it's not a normal draw. It's a very weird one. Sorry if you're from Baton Rouge, but you know if you know. So, but that is also the only place I've had my credit card information stolen. So there you go.
Right.
Ooh.
So are they pretty hardcore out there, like eat gator and
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
really? So they're like authentic Cajuns.
Yeah. Gator, you got frog legs, so that's a big one. I had to tell Heather what gig and frogs really meant.
That
one
is the
day, so-
saddest story ever.
Of what?
What?
Of which? Frog legs?
Gig and frogs.
So you just
Do you There's
stab
a
'em.
song that says gig and
I
frogs.
had to tell her what gig and frogs actually meant.
Okay, what is it? Save
Yeah,
a
walk-
horse,
walk us
ride a
through it.
cowboy
A gig and a frog is you're cutting the legs out. You
while
grab
they're
'em,
alive.
You grab them, and you have a little tool, and you gig them. You cut their legs off like that, and then the legs go in a little pouch, and then the frog lays there and just dies.
sits there.
becomes
Slowly.
owl food.
It becomes
Yeah.
food.
Yeah,
It's very sad.
they call it gig and frog.
so you have a pouch. Is it like a little satchel?
Yeah, like a little satchel.
Open
yeah.
top.
With open wounds.
With open ones. Yeah.
Oozing.
So
that is kind of.
what would constitute a good meal? Like how many legs would you have to consume?
It would be quite a few.
Yeah.
It would be quite a few.
Have you ever had frog legs?
Yeah, I've had them
small.
a couple times. I actually had one within the last 6 months. I ordered them just because you know what? I don't have them.
They're really good.
But and look, I'm going to bring up something you guys don't like, but it's also has something to do with the oil that you boil them in or fry them in, right?
100%. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Every time I've had them, the oil was they didn't taste great. All of the breaded
And
stuff
you
on
were
it.
expecting.
Well, I mean, the meat itself is. I'm going to use the word gamey.
Okay.
It's because gamey. It's kind of it's lean. It's bitter. And I'm not against that, but it's just all that breaded stuff on top of it was saturated with stuff that just didn't taste good.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sounds terrible.
So how is it normally prepared? Is it so? It is,
Everything's breaded down there.
okay, I was going to say
Everything.
it's all breaded.
You ever
Yeah.
saute them?
No.
Is it like bubblegum shrimp, or
So-
you can make 15,000 different versions of it?
No, they're usually just everything is pretty much breaded down
And
there.
deep fried.
Deep
It's
fried.
Literally the words I said to you when we went down there is it's like, why is
Everything
everything
deep fried.
battered and deep fried?
Because it makes
Because
it
it's all
taste great.
Because it's all reptiles we're eating.
Yeah,
Right.
it's to
Right.
keep you thinking
'Cause
about what
otherwise-
you're eating.
Because otherwise you won't eat it. Yeah.
To
Yeah.
be fair, I don't know if y'all know this, but Louisiana is trying to kill everybody in the United States. So
Is
I
that
don't
right?
know if
With-
y'all
with
read the
oysters,
article, but they can't get it right, and their oysters are killing people.
For
which
real?
is sad. Yes, they've killed 2 people, and 57 people or something have been hospitalized. And listen, I love me some raw oyster, but if you're gonna try to kill me, not Florida, Louisiana, I'm gonna have to.
I mean, you might as well say Florida too.
yeah. well,
So
Florida.
what's the story? They're harvesting them. They're preparing
They're-
them incorrectly.
They're prepared. So they
Eat
get
them
them
raw.
in brackish water, which is as good as it sounds, and so that's where the flesh eating amoeba.
Amoeba. Yeah.
Amoeba, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's-
What's
Flesh-eating bacteria.
Yeah,
you go.
yeah,
That's right
flash.
there.
Oh, yeah, those things right there. They like to eat you from the inside out. So
But they're doing something. They must be doing something wrong.
No,
No.
oyster's a filter,
Yeah.
right? So,
So
it's
if-
in the brackish water is
Correct.
salt water and fresh water mixed.
And they're not supposed to be harvesting them from there.
Well, the
no, that's just where they are.
bacteria is in the fresh water, so I think it's in the fresh water. So when it's the oysters are there filtering all that shit, all those bacteria stay inside the oyster.
Yeah, I get it.
So when you eat it,
No, I totally get that. But I mean, are they being criticized for taking the oysters from there instead of somewhere else in their
No,
coastline?
that's where they're supposed to be taken from. I'm just mad that they're trying to kill me.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's a rule you're not supposed to eat oysters if there's an R in the month or something.
No,
like
you
that.
only eat them when
With-
there's an R.
Yeah,
Is
with
that what it
ours.
is?
With
Yeah.
ours, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think you should not do it towards the end of the summer like people are doing when they're not supposed to because there's no R in August.
Well, can't they bread them and
Yeah,
deep fry
yeah,
'em?
that's exactly
That
the
you
problem. Is
can.
they're not deep
They're
frying
not.
them, or they wouldn't
Yeah.
be sick at all. So
Yeah.
Well, there are fried oysters. In fact, we had some canned oysters. Remember that?
Oh,
I never ate them.
that was
You didn't eat that?
I have never had an oyster in my life.
Oh,
But how you know they're not good?
Raw
I
ones
didn't
are
say they weren't
tasty.
good. I just know now that I don't eat them because Heather said they'll kill me. Thank you.
Raw
Only
ones.
raw ones.
Well, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. You
I
still
enjoy
validated.
oysters.
You-
I will eat
I've had
2 or 3 dozen of that.
Oh.
at
I've
one
had
sitting.
raw
Okay.
oysters, but this kind of scares me away from eating them sometimes.
Yeah. Well, sushi gives you worms sometimes, so there's that. And I love
Well, that'll
sushi.
thin you down, though. That's
Yeah,
what
it'll just,
So I went to
all the models are doing it.
I traveled for work to Alabama, and I did 3 tours there. And every time I'd go there, I'd go to Acme Seafood. And I don't know if you've heard of Acme Seafood restaurant.
No,
no.
haven't heard.
It just like Acme from
Coyote, Wiley, Coyote.
Yeah.
ACME. It is. They have all these. They're not fried. God bless it. They baked oysters. Oysters Rockefeller. They have just a myriad of different flavors you can have. Man, I remember Larry Couvion. He's been on our guest a few times for the podcast. He and I sat there and ordered just endless plates. They were so good. And I know it wasn't healthy for you, but they were
Probably not,
so
no.
freaking good because they'd come out, the plate's all hot.
Mm-hmm.
Like butter.
Well, what's
yeah.
the restaurant?
Oh, yeah.
Papa, is it Papa Do's?
Papa Do's.
They have the baked ones there that are like 3 different flavors that are super tasty.
There
Sure.
you go.
Yep, there it is.
That's who I think of is Papa Do's.
Yeah,
Those plates were good. I'm telling you, they were expensive, but I didn't care. When in Rome, you got to enjoy it, and
Yeah,
I did.
There is definitely a unique when it comes to food from Louisiana. They've got to be known for that. But let me ask you. So, like, when you ever go back to visit your family in New Orleans,
he doesn't go.
You never go.
I
visit
have
your family there?
the last couple of times I've been there is to go fishing on the coast with my dad and my brother. I haven't, and my uncle came down one time. I haven't seen my family in that area in probably 15 to 16 years, something like that.
Is there a rift going on, or you can't find them? Maybe
no,
you tried to go find them, and they're
it's
they're
just
hidden in the swamp.
It feels like there's always something else. Like you know, it's like I'm gonna go next year. I'm gonna go next year. I'm
I
gonna do
hear
it
you.
next year, and then next year comes, and it's like, yeah, I'm not going this year. And then that
Yeah.
15, 16 years later, you're like,
Oh yeah, well, it flies
I'm
by.
running
I get
out of
that.
time,
I get
so.
that. But I was going to ask you, what's your favorite thing to do when you go back? Like, what can you do there that you can't do anywhere else? But it sounds like fishing you can do pretty much anywhere.
yeah, we go to Cocadru and we go fishing, and one of the things I like doing there, that's where all the shrimp boats come in and out.
Okay.
And so you can go buy the live shrimp directly off the boat.
Nice.
Yeah, just give them cash, and they'll give you a ton of it.
And
so.
that's fresh as can be.
They're still alive. Like you're taking them back to the cabin and boiling them right there. So
And you can't understand a word the guy says.
Nice.
Did you ever see that guy on YouTube? He actually, the Cajun guy,
Yep.
frying shit up,
Yep.
and he's drinking a beer.
throwing stuff behind him.
I don't remember that guy's name, but he's got the thick accent. And he's whatever he cooks, it looks good. I mean, whatever he's doing.
And that
is
his
right.
recipe that you used on our shrimp last time?
Yep. He's a genius when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
It's, the shrimp I've cooked, and I've always struggled with the skin sticking to the shrimp. And he finally gave me a life hack. I watched his video the other day, and he said, you can't put the seasoning in. It makes it stick to the shrimp. He said, don't boil it without seasoning, just boiling water and lemon. And I did it, and sure
voila.
enough, it was just falling out. It just fell out.
Do you season it after the fact?
Yep. After you sit, you cool it down. The it's maybe room temperature water, and then you add the seasoning, and then you let it sit. But at that point, the shell's already coming off of the shrimp.
Right.
Nice.
It's amazing. I was like, this guy's a genius. So
That is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you not find on YouTube, right?
yeah, and I'm sure he seems like he's doing pretty well.
Well, he
so.
has his seasonings. I see it in the store.
So he's doing really well.
Yeah.
I bet they sell them at a 3-liter grocery store.
Could be.
Probably.
Could be.
Probably.
He's fun to watch too. So if you ever get a
He
chance,
is. He's entertaining, and you kind of have to. He's got the really thick Cajun accent.
Is he the one that you told us to bring up? Because we were talking about Cajun accents, and you
No,
had
this
him
was
bringing
the old guy that used to be on PBS back in the day.
Oh yeah.
The old guy.
Oh, different guy. Okay.
I can't remember the guy's name. He's dead now, but he would be on. He had a cooking show from he was Cajun.
Yeah,
And
we were trying to mimic the Cajun accent, and
Justin Wilson.
none of us could do it.
no, it's hard to.
And then so we brought up somebody on YouTube and tried to hear what the accent is.
Oh yeah, this guy.
Yeah, this guy here. Okay.
Yeah, he was the Cajun cook or New Orleans Cajun. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Why does he look like Colonel Sanders?
I don't know. Maybe
Oh.
it's the same guy. He's got the bow tie. That
He
looks
has
like
the bow
Colonel
tie.
Sanders,
Well, isn't
yeah.
Colonel Sanders from the
Suspenders.
South?
It's Kentucky.
He was.
Yeah, it's Kentucky Fried
But,
Chicken, right?
Is Kentucky considered
No
South?
audio. No audio.
I know.
Uh,
I'm still confused that we're not South. We're considered Southwest, and I'm like, but we're in the center.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing.
Yeah.
We're Southwest now.
Yes. I
Yeah,
think we always
We're-
were.
they never consider
We're
us
like
part
central.
of.
Yeah.
We've never been part of the South. We're Southwest.
I've never really considered us. Southwest is Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada. Nevada, maybe.
Maybe they're just looking at like El Paso, and they're
You know
like,
what?
that's
We're nothing. We're Texas. We're not a south or north or whatever. We're Texas. How about that?
Well, I know
do know
the company I work for. They just brought us into the West Division, so we're now technically West.
Well, for your company, yeah.
I don't know how I feel
Yeah.
about that.
So Heather, what's your background?
in which
Like,
background?
where'd you grow up?
Oh, here. I'm
You're a local
Texan.
girl
Yep,
through and through.
through and through. I have lived out of Texas for a year and a half of my life, and I was in Florida for high school, and I was like, I am getting back out of here because it's just Texas is friendly.
It
And
is.
not quite as crazy, sorry, Penny, as my family. My family is pretty sane, but like Floridians, they're kind of crazy. Like they're like all the people of Walmart moved to Florida, but they're still here
It's
at
all
Walmart.
the New Jerseyites and New York people that moved down there.
I was going to
There are,
say,
yeah.
who in Florida is from Florida now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas is
Well, you could
actually
almost- you could-
turning the same way,
Yeah, you
right?
can also say that
Yeah.
with Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my experience with going through, Minnesota, Alabama, is those in Louisiana.
Minnesota?
I realized, did I say Minnesota? I mean, Alabama, Mississippi. Yeah.
All right.
Started with
Those,
an M.
I realized I was the asshole, because everyone was so nice to me all the way over there. Every stop you had, everyone's like all nice and just people that you wouldn't
Well,
expect.
Southern
You'd be like,
hospitality.
and then I was like, God,
It's like Cracker Barrel.
I'm the asshole. I just like started doing, the people here in Dallas. I guess maybe it's the I don't know about the experience of Florida. Maybe it is all the how long ago was that?
I was in high school, so
Oh,
we're
so
gonna
it was
go
like
with
10
it.
years ago.
Yeah, a couple years.
a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think the reality is there are nice people and there are not so nice people everywhere. But definitely in general trends, East Coast, they're short-tempered, don't like the... I tell you what, when I was walking around in New York City, I was like all excited. And in Chicago, I'm like trying to make eye contact with everybody because that's what you do in Texas.
You can't do that.
No one looks at each other.
Nope.
No one. And if you do find yourself, kind of relatively alone with somebody passing you and you say good morning, they look at you like...
Or in line at the grocery store, they're like, "Are you trying to take my wallet?"
Right? Yeah, they were kind of like, what?
Why are you talking to me?
Yeah,
Yes.
why are you talking to me? I'm like, dude, what's up with that? Texas in general, they'll say good morning. They'll say, they'll be friendly.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
Well, it's a lifestyle. You're taught to do that. Your family, your parents, while growing up, you get on the subway, you stay in your lane. I mean, shoot, they are so to themselves
Right.
on these subways that
Well,
there
there's
could
so
be
many
a
of them.
rape going on, and
Oh.
they stay in the box. I mean, that's kind of extreme, but it's the truth.
You're right. They stay in their lane for sure. But
And it's too bad. It takes, what was the last name? Penny, that guy,
Daniel
Penny.
Daniel Penny.
To someone to stand up. Anyways, I don't want to go south down that rabbit hole, but it's crazy.
Squirrel.
People, yeah, well, there's people that just they stay to themselves. I don't know. I'm kind of very outgoing. I say stuff that I shouldn't say all the time to people that I don't even know.
That's fair.
Yes, you do.
I do.
Yeah.
No. What do you call that? Texan?
Overshare.
Yeah.
In Norway, they would say that's so Texas.
It's true.
Apparently,
They say
Yeah.
that.
Apparently, in Norway,
That's
they
it.
say that.
That's
Oh,
it.
really?
If
They say
something's
that's
crazy.
so Texas.
When
If
it's
something's
when it's
crazy.
really crazy, we had a couple people from Norway when we were in Germany, and they said, honest to God, that is a saying there. When something is absolutely crazy, they say that's so Texas in Norway.
They
Interesting.
also, so I went on this trip. That's happened too since I last talked to y'all. So there's a intro to Master of Wine program. Master of Wine's the hardest thing to get in the entire world, and that's what I'm going after. And so I was one of 22 people selected to go to Germany, and there's only one other Texan there, and she's a journalist, a huge journalist in wine. Like she covers all the magazines, and so it's me and her, and then everybody else from pretty much all the other countries. And everybody pretty much had this attitude of I hate Texas, and but I was like, I will win them over,
Yeah.
and so I did. But it's so funny because I think Mr. Norway, we won't say his name, but I think that he was like the slowest to come around, and then I think after he got to know me a little bit, here's the Texas story for you. Okay, so we're in line at one of these, there's the VDP in Germany, and that's where there's it's kind of the people that make the best of the best wine laws. Okay. So there's the wine laws of Germany, and then there's the VDP, and they're like if you want to be anybody, you want to be part of the VDP. Anyways, long story short, we're at this conference where we get to taste all of these fine German wines from all over Germany, which is just like the West Side because that's the only place it really has grown. And then so it's like thousands upon thousands of wines and all of this stuff. And so I meet a guy in line, and from Texas, so I'm talking, and he's from California, and I think actually originally New York, but he moved to California, and he's also Asian American. So we start talking and like hit it off, and we're like super duper hi, cool, fun. We're having a great time. Well, he sees me at this event, and all of us that are part of this Master of Wine are doing this blind tasting, and we've decided to go to this pop-up wine bar, and we're going to buy a bottle, and we're going to hide the bottle, and we're going to let everybody taste it, and we're all going to guess what it is. It was the most fun I've ever had. Also, probably the most expensive table I've ever seen of people that just randomly bought wines. But bottle 2 was bought, and I think by bottle 3, this guy from California finds me and he's like, hey, could I join in? I'll buy a bottle. And I was like, okay, cool. So he goes and he does the tasting, and then he walks away, and then Mr. Norway comes up and he's like, so what's up with that? And I was like, you remember how you said everybody in Texas and like the United States, they just kind of like random talk to people in line and it's really weird, and in Norway they don't do that? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I met him in line. And so anyways, he comes,
true story, yeah,
but then he comes in and he starts bringing wine bottles when he's, and so he's like, oh, well, this is actually kind of cool. And I was like, right, because hospitality is neat. Okay.
Yes.
Anyways, that's my Germany story.
That's a good one.
Also, we hiked the world's deadliest vineyard, and my husband was like, I
Ooh.
didn't expect it to be that deadly. And I was like, yeah, lots of people die there. And
because
on
of
a cliff
oysters
or something.
no, it's
Oysters,
no Cajun oysters. No, it's a very steep path with no railing, and so it's very easy. Like at points, you're just hanging onto a cliff with hanging onto little rods that they've put in there, and he's still alive. So that is proof that
And where
love
was
is a
this?
choice, and I did not kill him and push him off a cliff. So if he's ever found murdered, you can't blame me because I had the perfect
you had
alibi.
opportunities, yeah.
Opportunity.
I kept distance, like a lot of distance between us.
So this is in Germany,
Yeah, Kalmont Klettersteig.
and literally people have
About
Fallen.
about 70 year. Yeah.
Up to
And they're-
60% slope on there, it says.
Yeah,
So-
which sounds like it's not that big of a deal. When you're staring at it, it's a pretty big deal. But the problem is that the ground is like it just falls apart as you're walking on it some places. But there's no railing ever. So you just
I'm really
tumble
surprised
to your death.
that, usually Europe they overregulate, right? I'm really surprised that Germany hasn't made them do this or that. to
They're all
prevent that
about
from happening,
no,
right?
like nature is nature, and if you die, you're stupid. So
Well,
survival of the fittest.
She's into Darwinism, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Darwin.
pretty
So you
much.
wear the correct shoes.
Right, which I didn't. I wore new shoes and I tripped 3 times and almost died. But it's okay. It went great. It was great.
So, and what is, other than its claim to fame as being the most dangerous, vineyard to get to, why is it so? What's so great about it?
It's overlooking the Mosel. It's probably one of the most stunning views in the entire world.
Wow.
It's phenomenal. Like our pictures that we have from there are just they're breathtaking.
Worth dying for. There
Yeah,
you
worth dying for.
go. All right.
Took a picture with a flag.
What other interesting vineyards have you seen?
Oh God. I mean, Priorat was the best. We were able to go over and see Frere Babette in Priorat, so that was really nice.
Where is that now?
So about 2 hours from Barcelona. It's also on a mountain. They're really tiny little villages. There's not even really a city nearby, and it rains maybe 3 times a year. It's the hardest place in the world to grow grapes,
And they do it anyway.
and that's where I want to grow grapes, right there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so pretty. But we, I also really thought it was pretty. We went to Nadal, which was in Corpenot, which is about an hour from Barcelona, and that was stunning. I love David Arthur. David Arthur is their vineyard's stunning. That's in Napa, and on Pritchard Hill, and then Amici is fun to visit, but they're not really a vineyard. They are a winery, and then they get their grapes from vineyards. Tocolone, Beckstoffer Tocolone is a really cool vineyard to go to, and there's nothing cooler than going to Beckstoffer. There's several Beckstoffer vineyards that I've been to, and one of them is across from it's across from Opus One. And so while we were there, there was an Opus One porta potty, so I took a picture of it.
Gotta
was
do
like,
that.
I was like, I've seen the Opus One porta potty.
I think Marisoli was probably my favorite of
Morrisoli.
Yeah.
Morrisoli
Where
is
is that?
amazing. That's that guy we were telling about you. So he's in Rutherford, and he's really cool. Their vineyard is pretty fantastic. They've got one of the oldest Zinfandel plots on their land than anybody else. So that was really, really neat to see. That
Weatherford.
Rutherford. Yes.
Rutherford. And this is
Rutherford.
near Napa or in Napa?
In Napa. So,
In Napa.
Yeah. So Napa
Okay.
is the big AVA, but you have sub AVAs. So it's in Rutherford.
Interesting.
Kind of like
Yes.
Calistoga
Yep.
and Oakville and all those.
Yep.
See, I know
Yountville.
nothing. I know nothing
Well,
about
you will.
Napa.
Are you
Carneros.
going next year?
We'll see. We'll see. That's when we're supposed to go to Europe. Not before or after that.
When are y'all going? What month is this?
It's in June.
June, middle of June.
I'm going in September.
Yeah, middle of June.
Yeah, but that would be a wonderful trip. And yes, we are trying to figure out how to make that work with the other trip we got going on. So yeah. Anyway, it's gonna be fun.
Oh, it's right by Cake Bread. I've been to Cake Bread.
Yeah. She harvests early, so she missed the fires. Just so y'all know.
Yeah.
You can buy a 2020 Cake Bread. It's safe.
That is one big bonus about being into wines is that wineries, vineyards, all beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? It's all part of the whole experience of wine.
It is. It's extremely romantic. I think working in it will sober you up really quickly if you're not made for it, because I did harvest with somebody else. And at first she's like, yes, I love this. I want to do this. And was like, I'm going to probably apply to be an intern. And then like 2 weeks later, she's like, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I'll never do that again.
Right.
And I was like,
Not for everybody.
I could do it forever. I mean, you got like 10 to 12 hour days. You're freezing cold half the time because it's really cold at night before the sun comes up, and you're covered in water. So, and it's a lot of hard work, and you risk your life at some of these wineries. So not super glamorous there, but I mean, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
But there's so much culture and festivals and you know.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
I
really
agree.
cool.
Sign me up. Can I go tomorrow? I'm just going to leave. That's a yes, right?
I won't stop you.
We've talked about like when I go and I do a harvest, I'll have to go for 7 to 9 months. Like where would we go? And so I think I'm leaning towards Spain, but I wouldn't mind doing California. It's just hard to find like the right spot because you want to learn all the winemaking techniques that you want to learn. So I'm leaning towards Corpinat because you can have red wine, white wine, rosé, and sparkling all in one place.
And
so
you can learn the differences and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, be pretty cool. Spiffy.
Have we talked about the bottle we're drinking right now?
No,
we have not.
Can we do
Let's
that?
discuss.
Yeah.
Is now a good time to do that?
So this is Orin Swift is the name of the label. So Orin Swift is they're known for a lot of their wines, high alcohol percentage, bold wines. The winemaker is actually Dave Finney. So Dave Finney made The Prisoner and sold The Prisoner. He's still the winemaker for Orin Swift, and I believe not for The Prisoner. So Gallo now owns Orin Swift, but Orin Swift.
What is The Prisoner?
The Prisoner. So if you were a wine drinker, you'd be like, "Oh, it's The Prisoner." It's like a $40-ish bottle of wine that everybody thinks like hung the moon. And I have nothing against like The Prisoner. I think it's fun. If you want to do a fun wine, it's a fun wine. But yeah, so he did that. He sold it. Started Orin Swift, and he has I can't remember. I think I wrote it down.
Are they still making The Prisoner? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like,
It wasn't like a one release thing.
Yeah, you
Right.
can buy it. I see it at the store.
But I think Dave Finney still makes the Orin Swift, even though he sold it to Gallo. So this is the Papillon, and there's Papillon is across the knuckles of these hands that are on the bottle. That's actually the farmer's hands that farms the grapes.
Okay.
And I don't know if it.
Hold on. So slow down for us.
Okay, slowing down.
Papillon.
Papillon is the name of the bottle of wine. So
Is it related to the movie?
God.
Have you ever seen the movie Papillon with Dustin Hoffman?
You're talking to me, so you know I haven't seen it. I had to watch like 3 movies after our last one.
Papillon is actually an extremely good movie. It's kind of depressing, but it's a French guy, Dustin Hoffman. He gets busted for something. He gets thrown on a prison island.
Aww.
And it's his life on the prison island and his attempt to try to get off of the island.
But it has nothing to do with wine?
No, it does not at all.
But the name.
Yeah, but the name. That's why I was like, is it related to that?
I don't know. So I do know that Orin Swift plays heavily with art. He loves art. So like a lot of his bottles are more risque. He's got an actual mummy on one of his bottles. He's got I think it's an Indian head nickel on one of his bottles, the mercury head. And then he's got he's got the machete. Machete has one model every year, and they generally female, and there'll be 12 photos done, and each bottle in your case will have one of those photos, but they're like more risque. So people are all like, if you pull it up, it's Machete by Orin Swift.
Okay, so I made the mistake of thinking that what they name the bottle that it always has something to do with their winery or their vineyard or their something, but not at all.
No, he's just
Not at all.
he's
Okay.
very artsy and likes the art stuff. Yeah, so like you've got 12 different bottles with this model, and some I don't even know if she's wearing clothes in all of them.
That's
But
Tanya, right?
it
Or
doesn't show.
Tanya, the girl from Here I Go Again.
I don't know.
Tawny
It's just the
Katane?
model.
Tawny
Oh, White
Katane.
Snake.
Yeah, isn't that the White
Well,
Snake
well-
video?
Well, she has an afro. The Tawny Katane had red hair.
Oh,
so-
okay. Well, I was close.
Yeah. So, anyways, so he plays on. This is like the funny part about this, and the reason I brought this is this kind of segues into what I wanted to hopefully talk to your listeners to about, which is that this is his Bordeaux style blend.
Okay.
So what's funny about it is it's not Bordeaux at all. It's just using the 5 main grapes of Bordeaux, which is super cool. I mean, you pay homage to the grapes that they use, but it's that true big, bold Napa style. So Napa's got like 2 styles, right? Which we can discuss in a second. But I think we should taste the wine because it's been sitting here
Sure.
for a while and I really want to taste it.
Yeah, mine's almost gone.
I was going to say, were we not supposed to be tasting it all along?
Chris,
Too late.
Slim
Mine's gone.
is,
Because
man.
mine is almost all
Well, Chris,
gone.
we'll hook you up with an infinity bottle sample.
Perfect.
Well, okay. Well, let's start with Chris since this is already empty. So what? Do
Oh,
you,
wow, that-
What'd you think about this wine, sir?
First, let me say that I think she took this glass.
I
That's
absolutely
mine.
did not.
Oh, she
When
swapped it.
I'm pretty
Do we
sure.
need to go back over the footage and see if she
If
You
swapped
should definitely
if
do
there's
that.
a if there's a playback version, I
We'll put it up
I wouldn't mind the playback. So
Just make you look guilty.
it? So what'd you think of it?
I think it was really good. I'm usually not a huge bold red wine drinker, so that's a hurt. We were very different in our preferences.
In
So,
Nice.
everything.
Okay. Which is okay.
but for me, this was still good. This was still good. I like the it was fleeting, like it didn't stick on my mouth. Like sometimes I'll drink a red wine and it's like for a while I'm like, oh, that's nasty. I need to go drink something else, right?
right.
This wasn't that. So
Got
this
to
was
clear your palate.
yeah,
type
yeah.
of thing.
This was really smooth and the finish was nice. So I think
I agree
overall
with that.
liked
Yeah,
it.
the finish was good, but it wasn't where the shit sticks to your tongue.
Oh.
It's kind of bitter, the tannins or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't
So,
thick at all.
Yeah, it was really, really very fruity to me, flavorful, floral, I think, in there. For
Yeah.
me.
I got a lot of leather and caramel.
Caramelized leather.
Some stone fruit.
Yeah. No, I taste some, I don't know, stone fruit, but I taste there's definitely fruity in there, a little blueberry action.
Oh, it's very fruity.
It's got that little sour bite on there that just makes it perfect. I am enjoying this.
They-
And what's
this
the
is
sticker price
really,
on this? Around
really good.
$100, huh?
Yeah. So, like in Texas around here, if you're going to buy it, you're usually going to find it for around $85 a bottle plus tax. But it's a spectacular wine. I think for a bold Napa wine, it's a fun one to have. I mean, the artwork's great. It's 14.5% alcohol, so it's good that we split it amongst 6 of us. So, yeah. And I mean, I really do love how they blended the grapes together. I'm a big fan of Cab, but I'm also a huge fan of Cab Franc, which is kind of peppery. But they still have the fruitiness with that Merlot. It softens up the tannins, and so they really did a great job. And that Dave Finney's known to just be really good at making these wines and really making something a little bit different, but always in that very bold, high alcohol percentage. So if you ever want somebody that's like, or if you meet somebody and you're talking to them, they're like, I really want a Pinot Noir with a high percentage of alcohol. It's gonna mess me up. Like, one, why are you drinking Pinot? But oh well. But no, they make the
Point
Pinot.
to the Franzia boxes.
Yeah, no. They have
Franzia.
they have the Pinot Noir, and even his Pinot Noir, everything's high alcohol with them. So Dave Finney really likes it. And Orrin Swift was named after his parents. So Orrin is his father's middle name, and Swift was his mother's maiden name.
Nice.
And he's extremely eccentric and drops the F-bomb like there's no tomorrow. So if you ever watch him on YouTube, you'll be like, wow, he says the F word a lot. And if you're drinking and you do it, make it a shots game, you're probably just gonna be wasted. So
There you go. I like this idea already. All right, so you
So-
probably get. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say regarding the bottles themselves.
Yeah.
So the shape. So first of all, there's a couple questions, and I'm going to go through the questions real quick. So I know like Bordeaux bottles, from what I understood, Bordeaux bottles are very specific in the shape, what they are, and I think they consist of 7 different grapes in there. Next question. Underneath the bottle, you have different, and this is true with some of the bourbons too. Sometimes they're just a huge, sometimes they're flat. What's the story on that?
So okay.
And then
Sorry,
the third
you're gonna add.
question is, what about the shape of this bottle? Why is it in that shape, and is it for a reason?
So okay, the bottle questions and okay. So yes, Bordeaux has different bottle sizes, but they're all typically tall and more narrow, but not quite as tall and narrow as like maybe some of the other ones you'll see in like maybe Italy or something. But yeah, they tend to be a very specific size. Every person that makes wine gets to kind of choose their bottle, but in Bordeaux, there's like rules regarding everything, labels and all kinds of stuff, and like what grapes they're allowed to use. And if they use certain grapes, they can't put that it's from their region necessarily if they're not supposed to be growing grapes from that area. So then they have to like make it a bigger region. Like there's all these rules. So Bordeaux is one of those ones that are like, I want to become a winemaker. Nobody's like, let's start in Bordeaux. That would be easy. So that's kind of the style and the size of those bottles. In California, anything goes. If you want it, you got it. It's like an Ariana Grande song. So literally you could do anything. So this
in terms of the bottle too, like
with everything. Yeah.
Everything.
And, well, how you label it, it has to be a certain percentage. If you're going to label it as like, this is a cab, right? Then it's got to be like a certain percentage. So generally speaking, 85%. But as far as bottling techniques go, that's
or the
totally
shape of the
up.
bottle.
Yeah. The shape, whatever they want to do. It's like anything goes. I will say you'll find the wider bottles in California. They want the heavier, wider bottles, which is a bitch when you're trying to ship stuff. But which I speak from experience, because there is a suitcase that holds 12 bottles of wine, but it goes over the weight limit when it's California wine because of those dang bottles. So, and then the indention. Hold on. So if I'm a sommelier and I'm holding your bottle at the table, I can literally, if I'm bringing it up, I can literally sit here and talk about the wine, and I can hold it with my thumb inside this indention as I talk to you about the wine and not disturb the label, because the label's always got to be facing the person, right?
Interesting.
So that's kind of why the indention's there.
What about the transfer of heat from your hand to the bottle?
So there's more transfer to the glass than to the bottle. Like they're not super worried that within the time that it takes you to serve and talk about a wine, the wine's going to get warm. And there is like serving temperatures that are perfect for every wine, but it's more your glass. Like right now, the audience cannot see, or maybe they can. Who knows? Hi. Okay, so this is a stemless glass, and so we were talking to my now ex-brother-in-law. Hi, Greg. So he talked about like it was gay to use the stem. Well, the stem is protecting your wine unless you really like. If you want it to open up and you're okay with like a warmer wine, like I'm okay with that. If it's Italian or if it's French, I can sit here and I can hug on it, right? Because it's going to open up some more. It's going to aerate a little bit more. That's fine. If I'm drinking a chilled white wine or a rosé or a champagne, I don't want it to get warm, right? So
There you go.
you're going to hold it from the little stem on the glass. You don't want to hold it right here. So generally speaking, if you want a cold wine, you're not going to use a stemless glass.
Well, you just don't have your pinky out when you're holding
That's
the
for
stem.
tea.
Oh.
Then you're not
Tea.
gay. Doing it that
Well,
way.
I'd like to be happy.
You know, I guess when you think about all this, the best strategy is just to drink it so fast that a cold one won't get warm and a warm one won't get cold.
That's exactly what I was doing.
I think you're
Yeah,
supposed
maybe
to
the
savor.
Chris adheres to that.
Yeah, the speed of consumption saves you from all of these things that you have to stress about.
Now, I will say that the thing I did want to talk about is like the Bordeaux style, that you do see some more of the Bordeaux style of cabs in Napa, like Cake Bread. That's one. She does early harvest. And you'll like, even with Morasoli wines, because it's a vineyard, but they also have their own wine club. We remember 220, 219,
That sounds
200.
right. Yeah.
Sorry, Chris, I don't remember the number. He put it on a coin and sent it to us. I should know. But there are people that are making the bigger, bolder styles, and that's going to be something like this, or there's so many out there that you can buy, and it's just high alcohol, bold fruit. You can drink it now. You can cellar it because it's got acidity and it's got all this stuff in it that's going to make it cellar. But they're meant to be easy to drink now. Like I can think of like Russell Bevan and his wines, and there's just so many. But then you have like Amici, and they're like, you can let this sit for a while. You can savor it a little bit, but it's not so bold and in your face. It's just yummy, right?
Mhm.
And then same thing with like Cake Bread. When you have a Cake Bread wine or Groth or Greach, some of those can be a little bit less bold, and people are like, oh, I don't know that I like this. It's not a typical cab from California. And I'm like, well, it is. There's just two different styles. So that's pretty much it. If they do have that big and bold, though, they're generally picking their fruit later in the year. and that's getting them more sugar in the grape, which means the alcohol will go up and it'll be more bold.
So a couple times you've mentioned in California they can do whatever they want. During the class I took, they mentioned Mega Purple.
Yeah.
And there's not really hard proof, but I think some folks have sent off to lab and they've done some tests and for a few of these wineries, and they're actually using Mega Purple. What
does that mean? What's Mega Purple?
It's a coloring agent to make your wine look this color.
No, that's not good.
Grape concentrate.
Yeah.
Well, it's also very sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's
So
less sugar in it.
okay, so the one that gets accused of this the most is Caymus. Caymus gets accused of this all the time, and I have not met the founding father, literally, of the Wagner family, but meeting with the people that run one of his sons, and so there's different kids. There's 2 boys and 1 girl, and they all make wine. And the Wagner style is longer hanging fruit, so that the alcohol gets higher, the sugar is higher, it's more bold, and they swear, if you talk to anybody in the Wagner family, they swear that this is not used. I work in the wine industry on the retail side, so to me, whether it's used or not is not as important as do people like the wine. And so when people ask me, what does Caymus 50 anniversary taste like? I'm like, it tastes like 49 and 48 and 47, because it's a consistent product. It's a little bit of a blend. It's a Cabernet, but there's still a little blending that's used, and they consistently create a product that tastes the same year after year. And that's what people want, right? So do they use the dye, the forbidden purple? I don't know. Like I haven't researched it, so I don't know.
The other one I heard was the Meiomi. The Pinot Noir is there's a lot of sugar in it.
I think it's like
22. I heard 22 or 23 grams of sugar.
It was more than a soda.
Yeah,
so,
it was a lot.
Yeah, so when people call Meiomi a dry wine, I'm like, okay, well.
Oh, so dry wine has more sugar.
No, it doesn't. People just call me. Some people call Meiomi a dry wine. And technically, it is. It's not a sweet wine. It just has a lot of sugar in it. To me, it's sweet. I don't drink wine like that. So
I want to. Jeff mentioned the Mega Purple stuff, but where are they getting the Mega Purple product? I mean, they got bottle up there. It says, "Hi, I'm Mega Purple." I mean, are they getting this from
Costco?
Is this like a byproduct of a collective grape?
I have not gotten into winemaking enough to tell you where Mega Purple comes from. I've never studied it.
It sounds like they're cheating.
I mean, yeah, they could be, if they being whoever might be using it, but I really don't know. I've never read anything.
Or is it something that's just kind of what they use now?
No, it's definitely not what they use. I could tell you a number of the wineries and wine owners that I've met that they definitely do not use it. So, like, I was there with Amici. I saw everything that they put in their wine. It's all natural stuff. It's not.
Yep.
I was going to say, somebody who puts that much heart and soul into their product, I would be really surprised.
Well, what I read, it's these companies. No, not the up and comers. The big companies who are selling millions and millions and millions of bottles.
All they care about is
They're
volume,
bean counters,
and they want a consistent flavor.
And that's how they do it.
They want it to match every single bottle. When you do 1 million bottles, they want it to all taste the same.
Right.
And do it fast.
And all they care about is volume and price.
Correct.
Well, and there was
and
after the fires of 2020, there was a big, like, there was a thing that there's 2 different chemicals you could put in your wine to make the flavor of the fire go away. And so people were using that. And so that's another big one, is like, when was this grape harvested
on
that year?
I'm kind of curious to see what that tastes like. A smoky Cabernet?
It's not as smoky
as glamorous.
Yeah.
It's really,
it tastes like burnt grape.
This is cigar. This is cigar wine.
It tastes manipulated. I happen to know a few that do that. I'm not going to say it on air just because I don't know what's going to happen with my career further on down the line. Who knows? I might interview for some of them. I don't know, but I will tell you that people do use it, and when you taste it, you're like, okay, yeah, that's. And I mean, I am trained my nose and my taste buds. Like that's all I do. I'm in a wine tasting group. If my kids cook something at 2:00 in the morning, I am up all night. I'll never go back to sleep because I just can't get the smell out of my nose. And so, yeah, but I think even the untrained smeller would smell it.
Well, I got to tell you, I thoroughly enjoy I would love to. I mean, we got still time left on the podcast, but I mean, I really enjoy this. I mean, this is something that, and you talked about just doing the first half. I mean, if this is something you can do in the future, maybe 2 months down the road, I'd love to introduce a bottle every other month and just talk about it, about the whomever it is, and maybe talk about, classes that you're taking somewhere.
Yeah,
you know?
that would be super cool, and a babysitter so
Not
that we can go
classes
back.
that you're taking, but classes that you're giving.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I will say that, we'll be doing some out of store events soon for the 3-letter grocery store that I work for.
Oh.
In McKinney.
Do they have a showroom there where they display
No,
and
it
have
would
classes?
be off site. It would be VIP list only kind of thing. But
Not sponsored technically by the 3-letter group.
No, not sponsored by them. So just because I'm me, I do what I want. Do what I want. So I mean,
That's so Texas.
yeah.
It's
So
so Texas.
it is so Texas. But
let me
I'd be
ask you-
down.
I subscribe to that.
Let me ask you some real basic retail questions you probably get all the time. Because the reality is, we're neck deep in the grapes and the process and all that kind of stuff. Most people know a fraction.
Yeah.
And when you go to Total Wine, there's like 500 million bottles of every type.
Right.
So somebody walks in and they're like, I have some friends that drink wine. Help me here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And they have no idea what they drink. They have no idea what a good bottle should cost. They really have no, give us like the bare minimum pointers for the ignorant wine purchaser people. I mean, there's probably a typical wine that people would enjoy. The price range probably needs to be within blah and blah. I mean, what do you go on to help these people?
It's such a broad question.
It is
So,
a broad question.
It's tough.
But you probably get it a lot.
Yeah, and I start with price point. That's always the most important. I'm like, okay, well, have you seen them drink red wine or white wine? If they're like, I don't know, I'm like, okay, well, what price point? If they say 100, automatically I'm thinking a $50 bottle of red and a $50 bottle of white, right? Because it's going to meet down the middle. And
yeah, but how do they even give you? They probably go, I think I want a decent wine. How much is a decent wine? $20?
Well,
$40?
So you always
Right?
start by asking them how much they want to spend, because the goal is to keep it in their budget. And people are generally speaking, they will give me a number. If they don't, it'll be something broad like the normal amount. And I'm like, okay, well, what would you like to spend? Because if you give me any number, I'm going to give you the best bottle in that price point. I'm not going to try to upsell you. So just give me a number.
Right.
And then they're generally very willing to give a number. But it really depends. I'll ask what the occasion is for. Like if it's a celebration, they probably need a champagne, right? And if it's, they're going to a dinner party, well, then it's probably going to be a Cabernet. And if it's in the summer, then it's probably going to be like a Rosé or something like that, or Sauvignon Blanc, or, so it's always just going to depend. And if they're like, I want the best bottle I could possibly ever have in my entire life for $30, then I'm like, okay, top tier Sauvignon Blanc. I mean, you can still have a really nice bottle. It's just not going to be a red. Like I'm not going to give you $30 is a really hard price point, I think, to get a nice bottle of red, because red it sells higher price point, right? So
what is a price point you would never go below to advise to somebody? Because there's a ton of $10, $12, $15 wines.
No. Okay. So I will say, you can get wines at that price point, but you need to look at Spain, and you need to look at maybe Italy, and you need to look at like a different region than Napa. So
I've heard the same thing, because the wine industry is highly regulated over there. The U.S., there are no really regulated. They can put whatever the hell they want in that bottle,
Right, and charge whatever they want.
and they don't have to say what's in that bottle. So
I mean, the FDA does like regulate what goes in it. Like they can't put like poison in it.
But
or
you don't have to
something,
label
but-
it.
Yeah, they don't have to label it.
I mean, they could add the Mega Purple or something else as long as the FDA approves it. They don't have to tell you that.
Correct. Yes.
Right.
They just have to put the FDA warning of you're pregnant. You should probably not drink this. Surgeon General.
Right.
That's what it is.
Sure.
Surgeon
Right.
General.
But over in Italy, they have the regions and the codes and all that stuff. So, and you have to meet certain criteria in order to get those codes.
Right. So like IGT is like, maybe don't go there, but if you're, like DOC, DOCG, like that's in Italy, that's going to be great. You're going to get a great wine. And,
Right.
and there are some in there, and Spain is a beautiful country to get wine out of, because you can go anywhere and get an inexpensive bottle of wine. It's going to be fantastic. But it's harder to do in America because real estate, first of all, is higher than some of the properties that you're dealing with. Now, I mean, obviously.
Right.
And some of the places in Europe, like Bordeaux, things like that, we're not talking about that. We're talking about like smaller areas of smaller countries. And so when you deal with like Napa, you're paying so much, but you can go to Paso and you can get some decent wines for $30 in Paso. So like if you told me, hey, I want, this great wine, $30 or under, and I want it to be a cab, then I would probably say, hey, try Textbook, which is a great Cabernet out of Paso Robles. So like that's a fun one. If you wanted, a really good red wine, but you didn't care what it was, I would probably try to walk you over and get you like a Rioja. You can get a really nice Rioja. You could get a freaking 2004 Rioja that is okay. Tertiary. Let's talk about that real quick. So you get your primary flavors. You're like, candy, this, right? It's like boysenberry. I taste, some blackberry. I taste some blueberry. I taste some oaky, like buttery flavors or whatever. Tertiary means flavors that's picked from sitting in a bottle, and it starts to pick up candied fruit, ginger, things like that.
They get that from being in the bottle.
In the bottle and just sitting there in time and just like, hey, I'm ready. And then you're like, no, you're not ready yet. So like later on down the road.
Part of the maturation process where perhaps it's turning to vinegar?
Nope. No, it's not going to turn to vinegar. A really well wine is not going to do that unless it's exposed to like heat. So,
where's that flavor coming from?
Every bottle, it's got like a little bit of air, and then the bottles are sitting on their sides, right? So some air is just a little bit of air is just in there, and it's just maturing. And so like if you got a Rioja, 2004 Rioja, you can get one of those for $60 and you're going to taste a phenomenal wine. That's a great gift or dinner party wine right there, right? But a lot of people are like, no, it's got to be, I really want a bottle of Veuve. And you're like, oh, well, okay.
When we have our get-togethers, my wife go get some wine for random people. So I'll go and I'll pick up 10 bottles of random shit. And, I don't know what I'm getting really.
For sure.
So when I go to TW, I spoke with those folks out there. How much you want to spend? I want to spend about $150 for about 10 bottles, and then just pick me out, split down the middle.
Right.
Pick, maybe one or two Pinot Noirs or, Cabernet, Merlot, whatever. I don't know a whole lot about Chardonnays, Pinot Grigios. That's not really my wheelhouse because the only time I've ever really enjoyed those was when I was slamming them.
Oh, okay. You don't enjoy them that way.
So you never tasted it.
I worked at the Four Seasons resort, and they had a lot of wine tastings, and I never got into it. But I found that they give you a quick buzz if you drink them fast.
A lot of alcoholic drinks do.
Yeah, but they were so refreshing because they're cold.
Right,
so it's not like it's a little different. When you slam like the warmer red wines, it's just different.
It is.
I'm super excited that you came out and you gave us another shot. And it is perfect that we talked about one. I think the 3 was off the frickin' hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris, I really want you to jump on the infinity bottle. You guys got to like truck out of here. You got time to stay?
Yeah, we can stay for a second. But can I say? Do we have you?
You got as much time as you want.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, we were talking earlier about how everything is so Texas, and we brought it back. There's one other thing I have to touch on before I have to get out because I have to get it out of my system, and I just want to talk about how Tesla should not be in Texas.
I agree with this.
And I want to emphasize,
the
car itself and everybody who drives one. And I want to say, if you drive a Cybertruck, you're even the worst version of that person. And it's not anything to do with Elon Musk. I could care less what you think about him because I'm not a political person. So I'm like, whatever, I don't care. But what I do care about is how you can't drive, ever. You don't know where you're going, ever. You don't use your blinker, ever. I hate them all. And I'm a loving person, but I hate Tesla drivers.
There we go.
Especially with the stickers on there, the student driver.
Oh my God.
That's even the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like announcing, not only am I a dipshit for driving this, but I'm a dipshit.
Yeah.
I can't drive. Now I got a license to not drive. That's like one of the worst things ever.
I just feel like they should give the person behind them like a little remote control so that you could move them out of your way and then just be like, all right, bye, because they're always
change lanes off to the side.
Right. Or in a ditch, whatever. I can't with them and I don't like them and they're everywhere and they have taken over everywhere and everywhere
since
I go.
They're digital and they've got a Wi-Fi footprint. We should be able to track them using our in-car app and just say, hey, this person drives horrible.
I drive all day and I deal with them and here in Frisco, and I think Tesla is probably the most numerous car in Frisco at this point.
There's so many of them.
They're in Salina
it's
as well.
Insane.
I'm not saying 100% of the drivers are like that, but a high majority of the drivers of Tesla are either slow, they don't change lanes correctly, or they don't know what they're doing.
Or they're on their phone.
And I've told these guys, because I'm up high and I can look.
Yep.
It's the adults on the phones,
Yeah.
not the kids.
Yep.
The teenagers driving their car are driving their car because they're paying attention. The adults are on their phones texting. They're driving with their knees and they're texting and shit like that.
I just have a request. If you listen to this and you drive a Tesla Cybertruck, if you drove backwards, I could actually drive over you. You'd be helping both of us out because I drive a lifted Jeep and it would be like nothing. You're like a shoehorn. I just go flying over you.
It's like a ramp.
Oh my God, it'd be so great. I could drive like I want to. Like I know the speed limit and I go the speed limit or above, not under.
But it's got to be worse in California. Aren't there even more Teslas in California?
How could there be any more than there are in our neighborhoods?
I think there's nothing but Teslas in California.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Are they in Europe?
I do have a question. So can you
ship 'em is
can you
expensive.
Google
Yeah, I didn't see any.
who all was it that lost power? Was it Italy and Spain that lost power for like a day or more or whatever?
It was
Did the
3
Teslas
days.
go down?
I'm sure they did.
Well,
Yes.
yeah,
Did
ran out
they?
of
Well,
power,
if they didn't get charged overnight.
Okay, so like it's a hazard to people's health to drive these, but I'm just saying like a couple of power outages and we'd be out. We wouldn't have to worry about them anymore.
Well, that's kind of the thing when you see these hurricanes come into town and they wipe out the electrical power for a week, 2 weeks. You're like, well, you want us to evacuate, you want us to leave, but I can't. I can make it 100 miles and then I'm dead on the side of the road.
Yeah.
We had one that his phone updated. He goes to my gym that I teach at, and at 5 and 6 in the morning when nobody's awake. Anyways, he comes in there and he's freaking out because his phone needs this update and it's about to die, but he can't get into his Tesla without his phone. And I'm like,
Okay,
come
on.
it wouldn't happen if you had a normal vehicle. You'd have a freaking key. Like, oh my God.
For real, it doesn't come with a key. It has to.
It has a card that you can use as a key, but they don't carry it in there. So
It's
his
outside of your
excuse,
phone.
was
my
it's in his
God.
wallet, and his wallet's in his car. And I was like, well, that doesn't seem like that's the smartest decision you've made.
I'm not ready for all that technology. I'm just not. I mean, come on.
I think it's just it
There's-
just
there's
ramps us up and sets us up for Phil.
Well, there's a lot of failure points along that line.
There really are.
I've seen iRobot. I know how this ends. I think I said that last episode too.
So the Teslas
You
are
have
going to
seen
kill
that.
us
Yeah,
all.
Will Smith.
Yes.
Yeah,
Take my Tesla out of your mouth.
The car is going to become alive, like the Carrie. Who's the car that comes alive and kills everybody?
It's not
Christine.
Carrie. It's
Christine.
Christine.
Oh my
I always
gosh.
get it wrong.
Carrie's
I
the
thought it was
one.
like Bumblebee from Transformers.
That too.
Now that was cool.
All right. Well, did you get it all out?
I got it out. I feel better. Thank you.
And
Okay.
it was because of the
Good.
trip boundary coming up Coit. One
lane.
So was the one lane shut down
lane.
because somebody didn't charge their
It
vehicle?
wasn't shut down. It was just going really slow because this person thought that the 55 was really 35. I don't know. Why do they drive so slow? Like
I don't know.
they're not in a hurry to get home.
And
That's
you know
what
the
it
irony?
is.
They are the fastest cars on the road.
I know. Yes.
There is literally not a car that can go faster. They've even done drag races with these cars. They are lightning fast. And I've never actually seen any of them drive that way.
They
You
don't
think
know
there are
how.
inhibitors on them?
I mean,
No.
you know what I mean?
It's
You
the
see-
driver.
Like you see muscle cars, and they're like, and they go as fast as they can, as loud as they can, and I've never.
Tesla's like,
Yeah, they would.
It's gone.
We would blow them out of the water,
They
and
do.
I've never seen one drive that way. You
No.
would think there'd be one person who'd be like, "Yeah, I'm going to take my Tesla and I'm going to rag you guys motherfuckers out." They don't ever. It's strange. All right, well there you have it. I think we all got it out of our system.
It's like therapy.
Beautiful bottle of wine,
Yeah, thank you.
and
Yeah,
this was a treat.
Do you have any shout outs for your workout group?
I will say to my High Rocks gals, hello. I know they're going to be listening. And I will say also, if you want to follow me, I am that Somm from Texas. That SOMM from Texas.
Awesome.
there you go.
And Chris, pleasure meeting you. Thanks for coming on the podcast as well.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
We'll have to give you a big boy cup next time.
Yeah, or she just doesn't drink mine next time.
Or you
Yeah,
just
there
get,
you go.
Get your own bottle.
There you go. We'll keep a closer eye on that next time. Yeah.
All right, well, it's the first half of the Dudes Like Us podcast, September 2nd. Check us out if you haven't heard, the Facebook or Instagram, Dudes Like Us. And also, you're on Instagram. What is it again?
That Somm from
That
Texas.
song.
That
Texas.
song, Texas.
All right, well, dudes like us, I'm Sean.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Heather.
And I'm Chris.
See you guys next in a couple minutes.